Hello again. Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to RLCraft Normal. So since last episode, it has been a bit, real time, and game time, for that matter. If we pop out here, actually turn this on, I suppose. If we pop out here, I have been working on some wall stuff. It's not done, of course, and it's only one wide, and the bottoms, a lot of the bottoms aren't in, because I kind of want it to be a level wall, just because I don't want to do anything overly fancy. It's kind of me being lazy, but I've got lots of walls to build on Enigmatica, so I'm not too keen on building them on here and going over the top with them. So this is nothing fancy. It might actually end up being a little bit thicker, and we'll have like a walkway around it. Maybe, we'll see. But I did start running a wall around here just to keep the riffraff out. I haven't currently added a gate yet, but this is all just lush stone, by the way, which is the same stuff that I used on the roof there. So I've been running this around, and these little sections here are actually slabs stacked right there and right there. So, but I have been working on that, and I have also been working on the mighty bookworms. So let's pop in here real quick. And let's grab ourselves, you can see I finally added our tool pouches to this, and we have a bunch of stuff equipped at the moment. But it took a lot of breeding. This gold one, it's still Locke. He's not any better or anything. He's by himself right now, but over here, though, this entire pen is all the same thing. It is 30s on enchanting level and 1 on digesting time. So it was actually really, really easy. Enchanting level maxed out pretty quickly. Digesting time, basically, it took a little bit longer, but it really wasn't all that bad. I actually just kind of did it while I was building walls, and the time went by rather quickly. I had to farm up Val Candy. I'm actually down to only 5 at the moment. We still have to get a gold one, but that's okay. It's not a big deal right this second. So all of these are maxed bookworms. Every one of them. And I've just been kind of breeding these together. Now these foul candy, I'm not going to... Well, actually, I guess I could... I think I just ate one. Whoops. Yeah, and the babies that all come out are perfect babies. So... I've just been kind of breeding these together and seeing if I get a gold. I'm actually not worried about Locke. He's actually probably going to get killed, I think. But for right now, until I get another gold one, I'm going to leave him. So this will eventually be a gold pen. So, but yeah, so I got that stuff done. And then I also fed up some dragons, which we'll get into that here in just a little bit. And I made us a new Scarlet Riser. This thing is amazing. It's amazingly good. It's got Unbreaking 3 and Mending on it. Very, very simple to set up. But now I can repair it with experience, and it doesn't really take a lot of damage. Actually, very, very seldom does it take damage. I've noticed it's actually super effective. So we have an infinite source of food basically right here. So these things don't have really high durability by default, but with Unbreaking it goes pretty far. So, but yeah, so I've been working on that. And the bookworm analyzer is not all that useful. I need to actually put it up probably because all the bookworms that we make now are perfects. And these are some leftovers that are going to get fed. I actually didn't end up feeding most of them. I was just too lazy to move them over there. So I ended up just killing most of them. It makes the other ones angry, but they get over it decently quickly. So... but okay, so this episode, what we are going to be doing is we're going to start working on some pet stuff. We're also going to do some bookworm stuff today because I want to get our little area set up so that we can basically recycle lots and lots of enchants. I've been getting a lot of comments about the villagers. I know I talked about this a while back, but I feel like I should reiterate it. I have been checking the librarian villagers as I find them, but so far to date, I haven't found anything good. It tends to be all just junk. And I'm probably not going to build a village breeding system because we have bookworms, and as you're going to see probably this episode, they are extremely, extremely powerful when you have enchanting level 30 and digesting time 1. So a little bit more fun than just going with the vanilla method because it's something we don't normally get to do, defiled lands. So what we're going to be doing today, first and foremost, I want to get to these guys. I have 2 fire dragons, I have 2 ice dragons. Both ice dragons are stage 3, and the fire dragons I have a stage 5 and a stage 3. As long as they're 3 and higher, they're good. They are good to go. So what we're going to do, let's pop over. I actually do not have any ice lilies, but that's okay. I can go farm some up fairly easily. All right, let's whip up some bowls. What we're going to do is we're going to combine bowls, fire lilies, and blaze rods, and we're going to get fire lily mixtures. And then all we need to do now, let's grab our fire dragons. Bada boom, bada boom. And one of these wasn't sitting, so I need to make sure that it's sitting real quick. And actually, I think spawning them up here might be the best, because there's no mobs up here. So let's go ahead. This is the one that's not sitting, I'm fairly certain. Be the one that we don't normally ride around on. So let's go ahead and set that one to stay for just a minute. We'll spawn our other one. That's the big brood mother. And they're both red. It just so happened to work out that way. And let's go ahead and... Oh, I fed it... Man. Okay, wait a second. Oh, I didn't feed it. Ah. Okay. They bred. Okay, I've just got to find the egg. Dragon horn. Okay. Getting a lot of visual bugs here. Let's go ahead and grab that. There we go. And there's the fire lily mixture. See, it should only take 1, I believe, but to make them breed. But sometimes it's a little bit buggy. Okay, so we got ourselves our dragon egg. So we're going to go ahead and just take that. And this right here, this is actually a unique block that you can't get any other way. And I want to say that you need silk touch for it. I believe so. I believe so. It's been a bit since I've done dragon breeding. Honestly, I guess the last time I really did it a lot was... Oh, Enigmatica, I suppose. The first go around with Enigmatica. I could have swore I had a silk touch pick around here, but I can't find it. So I'm just going to make another one real quick. I think any kind of silk touch tool will work, if I recall. I believe these nests can be broken with your fists. Yeah. But I believe a pick will actually work. I think a shovel is ideal. Okay, maybe that won't work. See, it's been a little while. I farmed a bit of these up on Enigmatica, but I can't recall. It's been too long. Luckily, we have plenty of silk touch available. Okay, so we got a silk touch shovel. Let's give this a shot. I think this is right. I was thinking the pick would work, but no. No, that doesn't work either. Maybe you can't actually pick them up. I know in Enigmatica I was able to pick them up, but I can't... It was maybe a different tool or something, or maybe things have changed. I don't recall. Welcome to Asgard. Watch me derp this episode. That's okay. I'm not one to generally test things before I just go with it, you know? Except enchantments in this pack. I test those. Or I will be testing those, just because they're a little bit buggy, certain enchantments. But anyways, our fire dragons have bred, so yay. It'll take them a little while before they're able to breed again, and I think I actually have to have them out. But I believe to be able to breed them, they're going to have to actually be out of their horns. I don't think they can be in their horns and past that breed time, so... Oh, to breed them again, I might... it's not super long. It's about like cows and stuff, so like 5 minutes or whatever, but I don't know. I'll have to take them out, maybe flying or something like that, and get that time to go by. I do believe. Let me grab the ice dragons. So, a lot's changed with them, but I think it's still pretty much the same as I halfway recall. It's pretty straightforward, though. Just give them Fire Lily mixture. I was thinking you had to feed both of them, but I think it's just one of them. I don't know. Or maybe it used to be both. I don't know. But anyways, we got ourselves a bronze egg, and then we can basically repeat the process. Hatch it, grow it. And there you go. You got another dragon. But what I'm actually going to be using the eggs for is a little bit different. What we're going to be doing with them is making podiums. And I think I'm going to make them out of dark oak. Yeah, let's go with spruce, I think. Debating about that for a little bit. That's way more than what I need. Let's go ahead and get ourselves, or maybe it's not. That's more than I need. Let's go ahead and get ourselves 8. 1 for each color. And we're going to set these up. I mean, here's my dragon armor. But I don't have enough slots between it to make that work. I could put it down to the floor, but no. I think what we'll do is we'll line them up. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that, and then we'll do a space, and then 4 more, maybe. And I think they'll display okay. So if we put it right there. Let me pull them back a little bit. Okay, so we'll display our eggs right here. And then if something happens and I do lose a fire dragon, I'll have eggs, you know, as backup that I can hatch. But I don't really need more than 4 dragons at a time. But these will be kind of... well, these will be displays, but maybe we'll eventually have some backup eggs. In case something happens and we happen to lose a dragon or, you know, whatever. We'll have that available. So now what I need to do is I need to go get some ice flowers real quick. And let me grab the XP book. Okay, and then we have to collect our frost lilies in basically any kind of an ice area. The fire lilies are a bit easier because you can actually just go to the nether to gather these, but I've passed up a lot of frost lilies in the past, but I was like, well, I'll just wait till I need them. Probably a bad idea, but it makes it a little bit easier for like a tutorial type setup. Fire lilies tend to spawn all over the place. If you want a lot of them, just go to the nether and you're going to have lots of them. Lots of them, more than you know what to do with. That's for sure. And to make this, we need prismarine crystals. Okay. That is not a problem. And I will say frost lilies are a bit more common if you go to like an ice plains. This is just the closest one that I teleported to was like a mountain with basically just one. It seems like just one up here. Okay, so that, and we get our frost lily mixture. And then, okay, so we'll drop the female down. Okay, so we'll drop them both out, and that, yeah, it just bred. Okay, there it is. Awesome. And okay, there it is. Gets lost under all these dragon bodies. So we got a white egg this time. Bum, bum, bum. And there we go. We have bred our fire and ice dragons. Now, I tend to get a lot of comments, and I know I've mentioned this before, that it doesn't work, but I get a lot of comments about breeding ice and fire together. And like I mentioned in the past, if you have ice and fire together, you have them wander, they're going to kill each other. They cannot breed together. Lightning dragons will be a thing in the future. But it doesn't have any, I don't believe it's going to have anything to do with breeding fire and ice together. It's like a totally different dragon type that spawns, from what I recall, it spawns during storms is the plan at the moment. It's like a rare spawn chance during like thunderstorms, I think. So it's going to be even more rare than the ice dragon. Of course, fire is like most common. Ice is like a lot more rare. And then the, oops. Keep bumping that stuff. And then the lightning one's going to be like really, really rare. So just a heads up there. Alright, so let's go ahead and put these away. I do not need them at the moment. I do have to breed them again and again and again and try to get the... I want to get all 4 colors of eggs and for both kinds. So I don't think we're going to go really crazy and build a big dragon area or anything like that like we did in Enigmatica 2 the first playthrough, because we're all going to be doing that in Enigmatica 2 the second playthrough. So and I'm just not building big enough to have a big dragon area within this series. It's a bit smaller of a build, so. Okay, so now that we've got those going, the next thing that I would like to do is I would like to set up a little thing, a little something. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a hopper very quickly. And let's see, we want a hopper, we want a double chest. And once again, you can use crates for this, but I highly suggest against it. Especially in this case, because crates you cannot see descriptions for anything, and what we're going to be setting up, I'd really like to be able to see the descriptions for. So, and we're going to set this up. Originally I was thinking about setting it up over here, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit on the crowded side if I do that. Well, if I put the chest there, I mean, they're still open. I can access them right there, and then I could do... on the other side, I could do 2 more chests and have another, maybe our gold worm and a regular worm set up. And then have that setting there. It's going to be really awkward to get this in here, but that's okay. It is going to block some of these windows, though, is the only thing. Let's do that. I think I could change this up a little bit and make it look kind of nice. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. It might just be ugly. But I don't know. I might change it up a little bit. I really want my worms up there next to my armor sets, though. Like, that's ideal, anyways. And let's go ahead and grab our... Let's go ahead and grab our rock, and let's grab... Yeah, I got him. Cool. Let's go ahead and take our bookworm up. Grab our foul candy, and let's lure him over. Follow me. You'll like where we're going. You'll really like it. This might be a bit easier to do with some cobble, actually. Come here. I need you to go right there. Ha ha ha. Okay. Alright, so he's in there, and I've got to figure out... Well, the only thing is I'd like to have a slab right there. This may not be where I want to keep him. Like, I really like him over there. I might end up moving that armor. Okay, that took a whole lot of finagling. But I finally got him in there. So, if we had something just like this... And then I've got to put those back. And I don't know, maybe made this like a stone, or I don't know, something. But had him sitting in there. That would work. And then what I could do is, let me go grab, let's go grab a handful of junk. Okay, I grabbed a bunch of Luck of the Seas. I've got so many of these things. And then if I just right click... And let me grab our analyzer. Okay, he's got 3 digested levels. So you can see how fast he digests through the books now. And I got Purging Blade 3. I got Blast 1. Lifesteal 3. We're keeping that one. Sharpness 3 and Lightweight 2. Okay, let's grab these. And then we'll just recycle these back in, because I don't want any of these. We got Poison, Lunar Blessing 2, and Safeguard. Lesser Smite and Damage 4. Fusion 1. Rune Magical Blessing. Convert your damage into magic. Yeah. Okay, we're going to hold on to that. Let's go grab some other junk enchants. Alright, I've got, that was some cursed books that I don't need. Shortcast 2, power 4. Advanced projectile protection. Destructive 4, lesser bane of arthropods. Shortcast 4 and spellproof 2. Don't want that. Appealing. Catch more fish as opposed to loot. Well, we got 2 appealings. Strife. Water aspect. But now we can just start like disenchanting all the things. Taking whatever enchants that we get, because most of them we don't actually need. And we can just start feeding them to our worms. And as you saw, I mean, we got Lifesteal 3, which is like one of the really rare ones that we want. And, got that pretty quickly into messing with this guy. So, not to mention those libraries will actually be like super useful now. Knockback, Sharpshooter, True Strike. Long Cast, Efficiency, Lifesteal 4. Fling, and Weightless. That's actually kind of nice. This enchantment can be applied on a shield, and it will no longer slow you down while blocking. I'm going to hold on to that just because that's cool. I don't really use shields anymore, but still pretty awesome. Okay, I've been disenchanting and breaking books down. I actually just repaired this. By the way, don't forget, if you're wondering how I repair this, you can use it as a weapon, but I just stick it in my offhand, kill like a couple mobs, and it tops it off. It's like repairable food. That's what it is. So anyways, I've been disenchanting for a bit. I've still got a bunch of junk enchants in here. Penetration 5, that's like my favorite enchant ever. We're going to put that on all our weapons. Just kidding. But there's a lot of stuff in here. Diamonds everywhere. I've actually started getting a bunch of these. I actually put these into this chest here because I was holding on to some enchants that I was like, you know, I don't actually need this, but it's cool. Or not actively needing it. But this, I might stick on a pick just for fun. I don't know if there's a higher rank, but I have a few of them. Yeah, it goes up to rank 3. Okay. So I could maybe combine those up and get a better one. Get a Diamonds Everywhere 3. But Scope, which is kind of nice. That it lets you like scope in with your switch bow. We don't currently have that, so we might try sticking that on there. I did get Lifesteal 4. Okay, Lifesteals. That's crazy. And I think Lifesteal 4 is the highest rank. It is. Lifesteal 4. I also got Envenomed. I got Education. And then I don't think there's anything in here. I mean, there's some stuff like Unbreaking. There's some Silk Touch. There's more Lifesteal. I'm honestly to the point that I'm like sick of Lifesteal at this point. Like we're probably going to be throwing, recycling some more back in here. But I did actually manage to clean out most of our enchant boxes. So, like, I've just got Vitality and Advanced Feather Falling 2 over here on the armor enchants. Tool and Weapon, I've got a bit more because this is kind of like the subject histories I've been squirreling away. And, Advanced Smites. I kept one Luck of the Sea because I need to start actually doing some fishing for my Neptunium stuff. Infinity. And then this is just our miscellaneous stuff. We've got some Mending. We've got Subject Math. Some looting and stuff. But over here, this is the big chest that I'm really, really happy with. So this is all different runes that I found. Like we got piercing capabilities, and that one seems to come up a lot. We're actually going to be throwing that on a weapon today. But it says one of the runes allows your attacks to pierce through an enemy's armor by 25% with each level. It's major. Magical Blessing, I think we've got this on the hardcore, right? We got Magical Blessing 2, I think. But it basically converts X percentage of your damage into magic damage. Resurrection, this one's kind of cool. When the user, must be a player, dies, they will respawn at their death point with their items intact. And I'm actually not sure if there is a Resurrection 2. Which, I wonder if, I don't know. I wonder if maybe if it's Resurrection 2, it becomes Resurrection 1 when it gets you. I don't know. I'm going to have to test that in a test world. I'm not really sure how that works. Piercing capabilities. We've got arrow piercing. which doesn't have a description, but I'm pretty sure it's just like piercing armor for arrows. And yeah. And then over here we've got, this is all different advanced sharpness. I only got 1s and 2s. I did not get any supreme sharpness. I checked the mods CurseForge page, and supposedly there's going to be a way to get supreme sharpness, from what I understand. But I know it's meant for like the extended enchantment tables where you can enchant with stuff beyond level 30, which of course this packet does not have that. So in this pack, I think the only way to get it is it's a rare chance on librarian villagers. So eventually we might come across it, but I'm not gonna make a villager farm. Plus, I'll be honest, with the weapon we're gonna make, which I have tested it, it works. It works appropriately. It's not even needed. Honestly, the hardest bosses in the game, you can't really get any better than this weapon right here, because it's the Lycanites bosses and they have a damage cap. So really going for supreme sharpness, it's cool, and it's like, oh yeah, I got supreme sharpness, but it's really not all that useful because we're going to be like one-shotting most everything anyways. And then Lycanites bosses, we can't do more than, I think it's 40 something damage or something around in there. That's like the maximum that you can deal. So and then I've got critical strike. This is a kind of neat one that I hadn't noticed, but it was coming up quite often, 1s and 2s. But it says gives your attack a chance to deal extra damage based on your attack damage. Uses pseudo-random distribution instead of true random distribution. So basically it's another chance to crit. It's not double damage from my tests, but it does give us an additional chance to crit, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure what that goes up to as far as level 4. Okay. Then I've got advanced power, and I don't know why I kept power. I didn't mean to keep power. Advanced power goes up to 5. Yeah, it does. Okay, and I've actually got just enough. Cool. Cool. And then over here I've got advanced feather falling. I've got weightless, which is that shield enchant. I figured I'd keep one. It actually comes up pretty commonly. And then I've got education 2. And then right here I've got education 3 and barbed hook 5, which I've actually already got one of those. I could throw it back. Yeah, I'll do... is it barbed hook 5 or 4 that I've got? No, I've got double hook. I don't have barbed hook. Okay. It's another fishing pole enchant. But education, which I think education goes only up to 3. So we've been running it at max on this weapon. And then I've got vampirism 2s and lifesteal 4s and 3s. So much lifesteal. And 4, of course, is the maximum for that. So what we're going to do, and I did test around with this and made sure that it works. I made sure that I could apply the stuff and whatnot. And now we have lots and lots of enchant books. There's nothing else that I really want. I mean, we could do something like penetrating edge or envenomed, but honestly with this weapon it's just not important. And I do think with this weapon I am going to go with the rapier instead of the saber. Normally I go with the saber up until this point, but the reason being is because now with this weapon it's going to be strong enough that if we encounter armored zombies in a roguelike dungeon, we are still going to one-shot them, even though we don't get the damage boost. Whereas with the saber, it was a little bit more reliable in the roguelike dungeons than the rapier, albeit not as reliable as something like a standard sword, but that's okay. So we're actually going to go with an ice dragonbone rapier for this. So let me whip that up real quick. There we go, and there we go. And I want to get this thing to a legendary quality for starters. There we go, legendary. Legendary. Okay, so we've got our rapier. And I did test the order that I want to do this. And by the way, I really don't have any enchants left. Like, I did a bunch of disenchanted like 40-something things that were just lying around. And I mean, we're pretty much tapped out on stuff. But I did get some more subject histories, which was good. Let's go ahead and take some of these advanced sharpnesses. I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to need. Advanced sharpness. So there's a 3. Okay, I got these all leveled up, and I wanted to show you, or I got them combined. Like, Lifesteal was already Lifesteal 4, Mending, of course. I had to get the runes leveled up to 4, and I had to get the Critical Strike and the Subject History combined together. Which I've already done what I'm about to show you with these 3, but I wanted to show you with, like, the Advanced Sharpness 5, what I'm doing, because as you enchant, or as you combine them, basically they accrue, like, you know, anvil uses or whatever. So I'm went ahead and did that and could just put it on Iron Sword by itself, and then I'm just going to disenchant it off. So we get like a pure book that hasn't been used on the anvil at all. And now what we are going to do, now that we've got that, we're going to take our Advanced Sharpness 5 and our Lifesteal enchant, Lifesteal 4, and we're going to combine these two together. Which I know this was brought up in the comments the last time we were enchanting, but we didn't really have that many books. And honestly, I kind of forget about this, in all truthfulness, just because of the fact that I don't do a lot of vanilla enchanting a lot. Next, we're going to do our subject history, our vampirism, and our mending. I did test all of this, so it should work. Let me grab this. Subject history, vampirism, that's 4 levels. And then that plus mending, only 3 more levels. And then we need to combine these two together. And actually, we should be able to stick Unbreaking 3 with it as well. So we'll do... I'm not going to put it on there just yet, just to make sure. But, yeah, we'll do this. And so that and that's 19 levels to put it on our rapier. I know this isn't the most optimal use of this, but that's fine. So Advanced Sharpness 5 and Lifesteal 4. Now, if you have Supreme Sharpness, it's a little bit more damage overall, and it ends up becoming a lot more. But we don't have Supreme Sharpness, and like I said, it really just does not matter. In all truthfulness, I need another anvil real quick. I actually had to make another one. I need to make another one for over there too. Okay, so then we're going to combine it with our subject history, our vampirism, and our mending. That's 20 levels to do that. Nom 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 levels. So 20 levels for that. And then if we wanted to put that on there, it's 32 levels, but we're going to go ahead and combine that, put Unbreaking on it too. So it's only 4 levels to add that. And then it's 37 to put that on our sword. That's okay. Kind of what I've been saving all these books up for, because I was wanting to make a new sword here soon, like a proper one, because our penetration messed up our last one. Okay, so we've got Advanced Sharpness 5, Lifesteal 4, Subject History 4, Vampirism 2, Mending, Critical Strike 4, Piercing Capabilities 4, and Unbreaking 3. So what this means, what this means is this sword has 13.25 attack damage, and it goes up steadily because of Subject History 4, the longer that we're playing in the world. It's also got Lifesteal 4 and Vampirism 2, which Lifesteal heals us every time we deal damage, and Vampirism, there's a chance it heals us whenever we deal damage. Lifesteal is based on the amount of damage done. Vampirism is basically a healing, kind of like a potion that procs whenever we deal damage. So, super, super healing sword, because healing is just so important in this pack. I feel like it's necessary. Mending, of course, to keep it topped off. Unbreaking to reduce the durability damage that it takes, thus requiring less experience from the mending side of things. Critical Strike 4 is basically a second chance. Now, if you recall, over here on combat, we have random crits. So we have a 25% chance to crit, which doubles our damage. But on top of that, Critical Strike can also crit. It doesn't double damage, but it does increase damage. And you can actually get a Critical Strike crit and a random crit at the same time. I was able to get those in my test world, and it's quite a bit of damage. And then we have Rune Piercing Capabilities 4, which basically means that this weapon is going to 100% ignore armor. So this sword's actually completely craftable with the bookworm. The only thing that is harder to get is the subject history, but that's actually a fairly common drop on weapons, but it tends to come as subject history 1 and occasionally 2. So it's it's a little bit of a pain to get your subject history 4, but Okay, so we now have this super sword. Now, it doesn't have education, it doesn't have looting, but this sword only had lifesteal 1, and that was it. And it kept us healed up. So, this weapon, dealing more damage and having the vampirism and the lifesteal 4 is going to be a monstrosity, I have a feeling. Just to give this thing a test run, and that's 8 enchants that we stuck on it altogether. So, thank you guys for bringing up in the comments about combining those books, because I forget about that. I know it's there, but it's like I forget about it because it's one of those things I just never use, in all honesty. Not to mention this weapon's going to slow down mobs and stuff. Once again, though, it's totally useless against Lycanite's bosses, so not sure. It's finally just going to be like, oh look, we have a strong weapon. Here we go. Here'll be our dragon friend. Yeah, that was, how much damage was that? That was almost 200 damage with that hit. 95 there. So, not too bad. Like I said, you can get it a little bit higher if you want to farm villagers for the Supreme Sharpness. I think if you got the Supreme Sharpness, that would bump it up to, I don't know, 17 or 18 attack damage. And then, of course, the subject history goes up. It'll deal more. And I need to sort out some baubles. Because I don't really need like projectile damage and stuff. So I might try to get more damage heavy on our baubles. And maybe go for maybe Undying. I think Undying is better than Punishing, right? I think so. Maybe try to get Undying on all of our baubles as well, or whichever one deals the most damage. But I think if you had Supreme Sharpness on this sword and you got a double crit, you'd probably deal like 250 or 260 with our current baubles. And then once we spruce up our baubles, we can probably hit about 300 if we had Supreme Sharpness. I think once we get our baubles upgraded, we'll get about 250 on this sword with Advanced Sharpness. Something like that. So we did about 200 right there, and I think chances are that was probably a double up crit. But, wow. Just insta-heals everything. So, yeah. It's a pretty powerful weapon. I was testing this and the saber and a couple other weapons just to see if, maybe... Because I was mainly testing up against, like, bigger dragons in my test world with this weapon, just to kind of get an idea if we wanted to go with a rapier or whatnot, because we're at the point now where it really doesn't matter. If stuff has armor, normally the rapier is kind of... It's just like a little poker when anything wears armor. But with this much damage, it one-shots regular mobs, So basically, we just have to compare it up against dragons. And that's really the only thing that we don't one-shot, I guess, at this point. Withers maybe are a two-shot. Maybe a three-shot if we don't get lucky on a crit at all. But, yeah. Like I said, if you go with, like, Supreme Sharpness or something, you can make it a little bit better, but... I think it's pretty solid. We just need to get our baubles kind of sorted out. And I need to get masterful on these armor pieces because they're not... They're actually kind of horrible. Kind of horrible stats, but that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I've just got to do some like little cleanup stuff and we can get out a bit more damage. Like I said, with the big... Whenever it does do the big double crits... it's probably going to be like 250 plus damage. And then if you have Supreme Sharpness, like a 300 damage once you get your baubles sorted. So anyways, I think with that, I'm going to end out this episode here. Next episode, when we come back, we are going to be working on a bit more pet stuff because I was going to hatch the death worms and cockatrices just to show them off, basically. And we were going to go Miramax hunting this episode, but we ended up working on enchanting stuff. So, I don't really know why. I mean, we're pretty much at the point where we just do things just to do it. Not that it's necessary. This weapon right here is actually all you really need for this pack, I think. But This is cool too. There's just so much healing on this that we're like unkillable. Unless something can one-shot us, as long as we can get a hit on, it's like full health every time we hit. Because of all the lifesteal. When you have lifesteal 4, when you're doing a lot of damage, plus you have vampirism 2 proccing, it's just so much healing. It's just like, I can't die. I just can't die. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.